Hey everybody, Mr. Kaczynski here, working through IXL's Algebra 1 skills. Section double B is quadratic equations. Today we're using the discriminant. So in my last video, we introduced the quadratic formula right here. That's the quadratic formula. And we showed how to obtain that and how to use it. And today we're going to focus on that piece in red right there, that b squared minus 4ac. That's known as the discriminant. The discriminant actually tells us a lot about the quadratic about a quadratic equation. If that value is positive, then you can take there's two square roots of any positive value, so that we know that that quadratic equation is going to have two solutions if the discriminant is positive. If the discriminant is equal to 0, well, there's only one square root of 0, so there's only going to be one solution to the equation. And if the discriminant is less than 0, you can't take the square root of a negative number, which means you're not going to have any real solutions. Okay, it tells us even more than that too. If it's a rational number, then it tells us that it's a factorable equation too, but that's not really a necessary part of this skill in IXL. So here we go, we got a quadratic equation and we're going to figure out the discriminant. The discriminant is just b squared minus 4 times a times c. A is 1, b is negative 3, c is negative 8. So we'll do negative 3 squared minus 4 times a, which is 1, times c, which is negative 8. Negative 3 squared is 9. Let's see, a times c would be negative 8, and then the negative 8 times negative 4 would be positive 32. So our discriminant is 9 plus 32, which is 41. All right, so in this question, we're just asked to find the discriminant. Since the discriminant is positive, this equation has two solutions, but that's not what we're being asked here. Just find the discriminant. Now here we are being asked how many solutions this equation has. So I see that a is 2, b is negative 7, and c is 6. So let's find the discriminant first, which is b squared minus 4ac. B squared, or negative 7 squared, minus 4 times a, which is 2, times c, which is 6. So that's 49 minus 72. Yeah, 8 times 6. I'm sorry, 48. Not even close. All right, which is 1. And since 1 is positive, it's a positive value. It has two square roots, 1 and negative 1. That means two solutions. Two real solutions to this equation. Here's another one. Let's see. First of all, a is 1. There is no b value, or b is 0, because there's no u term. And then c is 9. Okay, so let's figure out the discriminant. B squared minus 4 times a times c. 0 squared minus 4 times 1 times 9. So this ends up being 0 minus 36, which is negative 36. Since that is a negative number, that means we're going to have no real solutions. No real solutions, because you can't take the square root of a negative. All right, this one actually is interesting because before we can determine what a, b, and c are, we have to put this into general form. So 2x squared plus 4x, and then we'll add 2 to both sides. It's actually going to be plus 2 equals 0. Now we can identify that a is 2, b is 4, c is 2. All right, so b squared minus 4ac, 4 squared minus 4 times 2 times 2. 16 minus 16 is 0. And 0 actually means there's only one square root of 0, and that's 0. So that means that we have one real solution. So if the discriminant is 0, there's one square root of 0, meaning we have one solution. And one more. Again, we need to turn this into general form. So I'm going to add 6r squared to both sides. That would give me 6r squared plus 4r minus 5 equals 0. Then I can use a is 6, b is 4, c is negative 5. So let's do b squared. 4 squared is 16. Minus 4 times a times c. A times c, 6 times negative 5 is negative 30, times negative 4. Just checking my math, is 120. So that's 136. So since that's positive, that means we're going to have two real solutions. There are two square roots of 136. So again, this was 4 squared, and then I did 6 times negative 5, which is negative 30, and then negative 30 times negative 4, which is positive 120. So it's just b squared minus 4 times a times c. All right, so that's one way that you can use the discriminant to determine the number of solutions to a quadratic equation. Good luck, and let me know how it goes in the comments.